It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Dallas Cowboys. And it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 25.
Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cowboys making their way out behind the NFL's leader in touchdown passes for 2023. In his 9th season now, Dak Prescott.
And he's coming off one of the best seasons of his career, where he finished as a runner-up in the MVP chase after throwing for over 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, and less than 10 interceptions for the first time in a few years. An integral part of the Cowboys' run to the playoffs. He's hoping to take it a step further here in 2024.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And Dak going to start out going to the air. And Cooks has it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Here's Prescott. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one goes for 24 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Dak going to hand it to Elliott on the option. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the Ravens' 14-yard line.
Now Prescott. It's caught left side by Cooks. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Prescott now. And that's going to be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Here's Prescott. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Brandon Cooks, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys are on the board first here this afternoon. Right off the bat, they start with a very solid, methodical 10-play drive.
And you know me, I tend to look at things from the defensive side. They're coming off the field gassed right away. We're in the first drive of the game. So it's not just what happened, but think of the emotion you carry into a game. Then double it with getting a 10-play drive put on you and points scored. They're pretty tired right now.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. So here's the first drive for the Ravens, and at the helm is the 2023 NFL Most Valuable Player. Second such time he's won the award, Lamar Jackson.
And he's coming off a season where he showed everyone that he's worth every single penny he was given. He now has 2 MVP trophies on his resume and was on the verge of adding a Lamar Hunt trophy to go with it. Unfortunately, things didn't work out in his favor, but make no mistake about it. He's truly one of the most electrifying players in the NFL. As long as he's the man under center, they'll always be in championship conversation.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. In motion, Aguilar. Jackson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12. At the Ravens, 42.
Again, it's Elliott. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Now this incomplete, and I don't see any flags coming out. He was clearly in the pocket, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, and that brings up 4th down. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of his first half of action. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And now the yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Jackson rolling to his right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. It's a scintillating run by Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens have got it back to within a score. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And he will have a Cowboys first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. And tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really...
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Adafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 2nd and 16. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Prescott now, option right, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
On the return, Hardy. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
It was a veteran quarterback, Dak Prescott, who had it working in the first half. He was on point, throwing a touchdown pass to help his guys take the lead into the break.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
The first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Again, it's Henry. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To throw is Jackson. Dancing to his left. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. He'll buy some time right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
The passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Henry going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. Trying to punch it in with Henry. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We're soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
Well, so much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Here's second and a yard. Now Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's first and 10 now. To throw, Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Now Dak. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. The 20! And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Here's first down. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive. Here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Now first and goal. Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth. Aubrey now for the PAT. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Trailing 17-10, 55 seconds remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. They'll roll him out right. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Throwing, Jackson sliding out of the pocket. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Once he got out of the pocket, you thought that maybe he'd take off with it, especially here in the 2-minute drill. Sometimes defenses are focused so much downfield that there's room to run, but this time he decided to throw it unsuccessfully.
Jackson out to his left.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try and escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Well, the noise got to be an issue now offensively. Here's 3rd and 6. Here's Jackson rolling to his right. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. 4th down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.